trying to hold women accountable instead of holding the thugs accountable.
Right. Because
Well, that's the
if men are the
problem. No,
matriarch, right?
no, but see, no, that's the problem. Men are held accountable. Thugs and gangsters and all of that, they go to jail for the crimes they commit. This bitch ain't went to jail
Hey,
for
look, we trying to make this a curve, and I said, not too many ends and no B's, brother. That
well, excuse me, and I don't mean that to all black women, right? But
yeah, I
no,
understand.
some of these women, man, well, actually a lot of these women, uh,
look how look how you curved that, baby. You was trying to, and then you put it, but no, hell, no, I ain't gonna be
man,
nice.
let me tell you something, right? Because motherfucker don't even understand. I got a bunch of women in my family of which I've known, motherfucking, uh, they had some of these women then had children. They let, for whatever reason, how dysfunctional they were raised by other women who didn't keep the father around. They grew up and had babies that they don't no longer have. Somebody else got custody of them.
Wow.
Um, yeah, and this is direct. I'm watching this shit. Black women talk about how they don't need no man and all that shit. These are the very same women, and I'm watching it live and direct. It's not a joke. I ain't see no men did nothing. Yeah, them niggas is fucked up. Maybe they ain't wasn't there. Maybe the nigga, but she chose that motherfucker, and you know that's just I mean, I don't get it. See, we don't like to hold black women accountable. We get in trouble, and we got a lot of problems in our society with other beings as well. But God damn it, I'm telling you, black women give these motherfuckers the keys to the gate. They gave the illegal immigrants the keys to the gate. They
Yeah.
gave they gave they gave systematic white supremacy the keys to the gate. They gave the corporation the keys to the gate. They giving the keys away.
Let's
Whenever
you
you
know
let
what,
women,
Big Hog, I really want to let's take each one of those things you just said. I want to go back to something you just said. Let's go back to the very thing. Go back to the point that culturally in this 2024 voting, I think we all saw the picture where we saw the black women sitting on top of the building, and it said 92% of 92% of black women voted for the Democratic Party. Okay, and they voted for the Democratic Party, and you just said something. They voted for the Democratic Party, even though they lost, but they were voting for immigrants to come in and fill. I mean, replace Americans, replace their men. Basically, it is going to keep it real. Replace men in our community and everything, and they voted for that. So my question is, have they been have is that an example that they a majority of our women have voted against their own best interests? That's the question. Is that not true?
a-
Is that not voting against your own best interests?
yeah, absolutely is true. They don't care. They're off into Alice in Wonderland and in a fucking cult. Their mind is literally so far gone into the matrix. There's no saving a lot of them. It's just I put my head down sometimes. I don't even want to talk to half these motherfucking women. I don't care how fine you is. You don't have nothing for me, and there ain't a future that will prosper if I fucking sit here and try to be with somebody like you.
Are you married?
And it's just hell no, I'm not. I don't want to say hell no, but no, I ain't married. No,
How do you plan on getting married?
I planned on it, but everything don't go as planned.
So one of the things, we had this man up group here, and it was doing strong until I'd have talked about it until we came under attack from the liberal here in Louisville, Kentucky, and then some of the brothers, we had a few conservative brothers, and they couldn't handle some of the conservative posturing that we were trying to do. But in the 5 principles, I passed these 5 principles because I like sharing it with brothers before you getting married, and I want to get your take on this because you done said a few things, and I want to see how you feel. We said the 5 principles of man up. Okay, here's the 5. Man up as an individual. Before you take on the responsibility of anybody else, be individually responsible for yourself. Handle your business. Okay, one of the ways you can do that is individually be accountable for what's right for you. You know, what is right for you, or what is right for you, what you need to handle your bit. The second thing, man up. So man up as an individual. The second was man up as a provider. Look at here. Don't make sure your means of providing for yourself is strong before you even consider getting in a relationship with anybody else. You know, the worst thing you could be doing, you can't even manage your crap, okay? And you go ahead sticking and moving with some woman and everything that you ain't even managing. Hey, I don't want to say no, but brothers, how many brothers that I upset telling them that, Joe? Okay, look ahead. How in the hell you gonna go trying to take on a marriage or get in a relationship with someone and you ain't even you ain't manning up as an individual, and 2, you don't even have manageable income. We had one dude, I'm not gonna say it, had one dude, he was trying to be a DJ, but his DJ wasn't paying his bills. You know, but he trying to go out here being a DJ. Dude, you got to sustain yourself, and he trying to have a relationship with a woman and thing. So man up as an individual, and then man up as a provider. Then if you got those first 2 together, guess what? You can consider manning up as a what? As a husband. Do that make sense? I mean, because the first thing that a woman is looking for, and that's why I say I believe in the old school, you should choose the woman you're looking to be. And how should you choose? She should be someone that you think is going to complete you, not you complete her. Let me pause right there. How many of our brothers right now trying to complete their women instead of finding a woman that completes them? Let's stop right there. We ain't even got to go nowhere. The other one, because those first 3
Shit, you
is
got
what
women
gets so
do that.
many
You
of our
got women
men.
do that to men.
Huh?
You got women who try to complete men. But
There
but
you
you're
go.
right. You're right. I mean, it is true. Everything you said. You can't even try to look for no damn girl unless you got you straight as a man. Now,
Right.
some of the young. Now, I say that more to the young brothers because if you doing that and you pass the age of 30, I think you retarded, and you need to get an evaluation. But to the young brothers who don't know any better.
Right.
I was a young man, didn't know no better, just chasing pussy. You know what I'm saying? Horny in the
Oh,
motherfucker.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
I know.
God gave me the gonads to be that. So you know what I'm saying? But as you get older, you realize some things. So that's not the issue with men who are going to take on the leadership roles. That's more for adolescent. It's going to hit more harder on the adolescents than it will for age-old men. So I'm kind of trying to figure out, like, what's the problem after that? Because you were created as a human being, and your personality and unique and your behavior or whatever is shaped by your upbringing and the things that you saw. It's all, but you are taking yourself into the future. Now, how do you, when you mature, do you change things, or how exponential? How exponential is that growth of you as a person?
Right.
Because a lot of people, they get older, they do not change, they stay stuck in their ways, and they perpetuate more of the same
The
old thing.
same ignorant stuff. So to answer your question, if you can't manage the first 2 things and you have been failing at that, this is where when I'm sitting there and I'm talking, this is when the immediate thing that I want to know, are they willing to man up as an individual? And manning up as an individual means being accountable for you. Okay. The next day, I want to find out, uh, how what kind of skill you got? How do you live in an apartment? Do you own a home? Do you have a car? Man, I didn't know when I first got here, bro. I never knew so many guys that didn't have a car. I mean, they catching buses and everything. And what I thought it was crazy, they got women kicking it with her. I mean, I like this is some. When I first got here, brother, I thought I crossed over the twilight zone, man. I mean, I came from the military. I never knew because I went in the military when I was 18. I came out when I was 36, 37, 38. Came into the civil. So I grew up in the military. When I came back into the civilian sector, it was like, what is going on? Guys didn't have vehicles, Joe. They
Don't
would.
don't don't say guys didn't have vehicles and end that conversation with Joe. you you gotta, got people thinking no, bro, I ain't one of them. But I know what you're saying, and that's why you mentioned my name to refer to, because we both live in the same city. Absolutely.
Right, right. Yeah, man. It was like, what the hell going on here and everything. And so that man up and that's actually how we created the 5 man up principle. Man up as an individual, man up as a provider. And if you got those first two down, you should be able to man up as a husband. Okay. And once you man up as a husband, you should man up as a father. And if you got those 4 down, then you should be able to be a good example of manning up leader in the community. Do you understand? If you are responsible and accountable in those first 4, you can be a great mentor to somebody. Do you catch that? To someone, right, Joe? Right, Carl?
Yep.
I mean,
No,
so if you
you're
Yeah,
right.
you're on point, man. That's very good stuff.
yeah,
That's why I keep saying hold men accountable.
yeah, yeah.
I ain't got time. I ain't got time for all this women stuff.
Right, yeah,
Whenever I get ready to get married, I'm gonna be so okay with me
right.
that I'm going to be able to choose whoever I want.
And
That's
if
going
he,
to like you said, complement what I got going on.
there you go.
I'm not worrying about those out there that's wilding out. I'm not worrying about that. I'm worrying about that I take care of myself so I can offer the best and get the best for Carl.
And
Right, right.
yeah. You want to say? Go ahead, bro. Go, Dust.
No, that was some good stuff because a lot of people, because women do need to be held accountable, but at the same time, man got to be held accountable, especially black men, because when we hold ourselves accountable, see, a lot of women do what they do because they ain't able to do what they do because a man allow it.
There
It's
you
like,
go.
and when you paying, like when OnlyFans is making billions of dollars and guys don't is thinking with their wee instead of their brain,
Right.
and they're allowing girls to do this. That's why when these girls be like, "Oh, I need some money. Don't talk to me." And now, nigga, we're doing all this. That behavior continues because guys allow it. I know we don't like it, but they're doing that for a reason. So it's like once you hold the guy accountable, like, look, stop paying for these girls. Get your money up. Get your economics up.
Right.
Then from there, the girls can see the girl gonna fall in line. Once they figure out these guys ain't biting no more, they ain't doing this no more. Then once you get your money right, I feel like the girl, and once the guy get his mind right, you know what I'm saying, get his money
Well,
right, the
he's
girl
gonna
gonna fall in
select.
line.
He gonna find a woman that compliments him. I have say this. I'd say this. My wife is an example of this. My wife is from Louisville, Kentucky. Okay, I ain't from here. Okay, when I showed up and everything, I was coming out of divorce from my first wife from Radcliffe. I pulled up in Louisville, and I'm taking no comment. I was working at the hospital and ran into one of her best friends in the elevator and everything. And Angie said, "I know you, Michelle. You seem like a good guy and everything. I know someone I want to introduce you to." I like, all right, who you trying to introduce me to? Now I'll be the first to tell you, Joe. I'd say this. I don't mean nothing, but Angie didn't look like anyone that you know knew. Angie didn't look like she knew anyone that I might be interested in. I'm just gonna say it like that. Okay, so my little streetness. But I took the number anyway. I took the number, right? So it was like 3 months later. Okay, I called. And hey, I was an insurance agent, Joe. So I really was calling her for an appointment. I'm just being straight up. That was my initial reason why I was looking through my thing like, oh.
You was calling her for an appointment, and then next thing you know, you ended up making an appointment.
So what happened? I called. She couldn't talk to me right then because her father was ill and everything. So she said, "Well, call me back in 3 more days." But when I first called her, she said, "Oh, Angie told me about you. You supposed to call me 3 months ago." I like, darn. I'm thinking to myself that she was waiting for this phone call, wasn't she? All right, all right, all right. But she couldn't talk to me. So we messed around. 3 days later, I did call. Now here's what happened. You know, my girl voice sounded so good. Bro, can I just be honest? I forgot about the insurance. I forgot about I was trying to call her for an appointment. We messed around and spoke for, man, we was on the phone for 5 hours, bro, talking, just having a good time. And guess what, Joe? Hey, Big Hawk. Big Hawk. My street sense kicked in. Just what I said. I said, girl, what you look like over there? What you looking like? She laughed. I said, don't be laughing. You been sitting over there. At the time it was Jedi was going on. I said, that's Star Wars. Star Wars is going on. I said, you could be sitting over there looking like Jabba the Hutt. And she laughed and said, I said, I ain't laughing. You sitting over there gonna be looking like Jabba the Hutt. I said, look here. And then so uh the point of the matter is that I did go find out. But here's what happened when we got to meet one another and we got to talk. She saw something valuable about me, even though I was coming out of bad divorce, had a credit score of less than not made bad, bankruptcy, okay. But I had dreams and I was in Primerica and I would think, I had dreams. My thing is that my wife was attracted to my what? My plan. Did y'all catch that? Carl, did you catch that? At the
I got
moment,
you.
Yep, hell yeah.
at the plan, at the time, I had a plan. I wouldn't. Wasn't in it, but I had a plan, and I was telling, hey, I'm in Primerica. I mean this. What I was talking. I'm like, hey, I'm trying to do things. I was ambitious. Okay, she was attracted to my plan. So that's why I tell women there's a difference between a male and a man. Big Hawk. Big Hawk, listen to it. A male is food, shelter, sex, and fun. I'm Big Hawk. Am I right? Y'all, am I right, Big Hawk? Come on, I see that 100. Let me say it again.
Yeah.
A male, okay, a male is food, shelter, sex, and fun. I had a nurse, Carl. We was at a Christmas party. She walked up with this guy, and I was a little tipsy, everything. She walked up, she introduced me to him, and I don't know. This is just one incident, many, but this is the one that stands out because it's the first time I was a little tipsy. And she walked, and I don't know, like my spirit told me, and I looked at him. I said, "Oh, how long y'all been dating?" She said, "Oh, we've been together 10 years. They've been together for 10 years." I said, "So y'all married?" She said, "Yeah, we live together." And she said, that's what triggered me. Yeah, he lived with me. And like, oh, and I looked at her. And so this way, so I looked at him and I looked at her. So, and I would remind you, I was a little tipsy. So, And so I went ahead and said, and I called her name. I said, there's a difference between a male and a man. I said, a male is someone that seeks food, shelter, sex, and fun. And sometimes a woman is all of them, don't even realize it. I said it. Do you know that guy looked over at me? He looked at me like, and I didn't know. And I just said that. I said, hey, I mean, y'all, sometimes y'all got to figure it out. So I didn't see her the rest of the time. The next time we was at work, she came up to me. She said, I thought about what you said. And I asked him to come out to the car, and I asked him to come out. And I asked him, when do you plan on marrying me? Because I went on and said, a male is a food, shelter, sex, and fun. And a man has a plan. When a man has a plan, he prioritizes food, shelter, sex, and fun. So when a man has a plan, I said, the problem is most women don't take the time to find out what the man's plan is. See, my wife saw my plan. And she said, I was about something, okay? And so what she said, she went outside and she said, you've been living with me for almost 10 years. What's your plan? You got a plan? And she found out he had no plan. And she told me that night I kicked him out my house.
Yeah, well, women these days get with a lot of men just because they like the motherfuckers.
Yes.
And
Not knowing that the man, how many men, I say, how many of y'all women have been with a man and you have been with him, you've been to food, shelter, sex, and fun. And when I said, here's interesting thing about a man, when a man figure out what it is he wants to do, when a man intellectually determine what it is he want to do, and if you ain't the one on his radar, he don't care. He been with you 10 years, 30 years. He out. He done checked out. He gone. Okay. And he gone. Okay. And he will find a woman that completes him and he get mad. I said, how many of y'all know some women like that has some, I had a boyfriend yet. Many women know someone like that, seen an experience. A guy been with a girl, all of a sudden, he broke up with her and got married and lived happy ever after because you was just food, shelter, sex, and fun. Okay.
Women are the gatekeepers of sex, and men are the
They
gatekeepers
gave
to
us a
relationships.
relationship.
My stepdad used to call them winter men.
Oh yeah, Germany, bro. That I just said right there in Germany, that practice is practiced big time in Germany. Okay, because the weather, the snow is so tough. The brothers over there, it is known. Military guys, if they're single, they look for a female through the winter months. Food, shelter, sex, and fun. The most ugliest women got a man because sisters, especially sisters, you could be the ugliest sister, okay, but you got a man through the winter months. Through the winter months, okay. Winter months is over with, and hey, you gone. Everybody, the man is gone because that's where that term actually came from. Men will look for food, shelter, sex, and fun, and they will talk noise to a woman's head. And if that woman buys into it and don't keep her legs closed and don't find out that what his plan is, he will treat you like food, shelter, sex, and fun. And I see, look at here. Now we only got one woman over here, and I'm gonna go say it like I said. He will knock your back out, make you feel like a whoop, wop, 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 better. And as long as you making him and pleasing him, he will be it. But he ain't got no plan, not one plan with you long term. You are just food, shelter, sex, and fun. And that's what I be trying to tell young ladies. You got to stop being food, shelter, sex, and fun to these young guys that don't, these are males that are using you. Okay. You got to learn how to close your legs, hold out, okay, and find out his plan. And my wife is living the life because she waited, and now I accomplished my plan. My wife, my wife has retired at 58. We both retired. We financially well out, and her whole family, who first met me, Joe, you know I tell this story. They didn't like me. I was acting conservative, that damn conservative. I was the only one that I was the only I was the Republican. The whole family was the Democrats. Okay, whole family Democrats, and I was a conservative. And they and boy, when I remember when I didn't vote for Obama, I didn't vote for Obama neither. Man, they talked about me like a dog.
You was
Boy.
a sellout.
I was a
You was
sellout, brother.
a sellout.
They was, brother, I got roasted by the whole family. They're like, you didn't vote. What is that? And they used to look at my wife. We was already married. Well, this, you so weird. Hey, what's wrong with you? Woo, woo.
I
And
mean,
then when,
and, you know, and oh my God, and sometimes I feel, I mean, oh my gosh, man, people. I mean, it was just because the man was black. I'm gonna be honest. I voted for him first time around just because the man was black. I just wanted to see what would happen. I was like, let's try it. What? A black run about? Hey, I'm gonna press the button. Hell yeah, I want to see what happens.
hey, but because I was in the military and I had already been around articulate brothers that can talk, but you can quickly realize that he ain't one of what we used to always say is that you can immediately find out whether or not this person been around us by the way they behave and how they cut. When I found out that he wasn't from Chicago, so I did my due diligence on him. Okay, let me say it again. I did my due diligence on him. Okay, when I found out this dude wasn't from Chicago and I found out what his family had, and then I saw him speak here in Louisville, Kentucky.
This the part I like when you tell this story.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
When I saw him, he came here to Louisville, Kentucky. Okay, and in the military, we were taught that whenever someone that looked like us, okay, and a male is about to speak at the podium. This is because I went to instructor training course. The military teaches us how to speak in front of big crowds and everything, and teach our brothers how to speak in front of crowds that don't look like us. How you got to learn how to command and get control of the crowd is how you posture yourself at the podium. And so the brother said that if you ever see someone that looks like us stand up to a podium and put their hands in their pocket and start talking from their pocket, they have not been vetted by no one look like them. Now remember now that is a 15 that I was taught that lesson 15 years in the military. When I went and got my instructor training, I became an instructor and I remembered it. So here I am 15 years later. I just went there to see who this Obama is, all right?
But you know what's so crazy is that nobody's thinking like that. I think most people are thinking because he put his hands in his pocket, that made him one of us because he was so cool.
Yeah, but that's
hands in his pockets.
But that is not. If anybody is professional and understanding, you're a professional. You've been in the profession.
Yep.
It's a professional.
That's a level of
taboo.
inferiority right there when you walk around with your hands in your pockets like that.
It's a level all through the military. If when your sergeant see you with your hands in your pocket, they would what the hell you fishing for? Get your goddamn hands out your goddamn pocket. Okay? Don't be walking with your hands in your pocket. It's a sign of inferiority. Not confidence. You don't know who you are. You're still struggling for yourself. You're still searching. It's that simple little principle.
Because who do you typically see that right now? You see young kids
with their hands in their
pockets,
especially
when they're around crowds or people or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Hands in their pocket. That's some young kid childish.
Just that simple little two. I was in the convention center. Obama walked up to the damn podium. Everybody was shouting, hollering. I was impressed. About to say, I want to hear what this brother's about to say. And
What you said, the way that he was standing on stage, and you looked around, everybody was looking up at him like he was Jesus.
yeah, everybody was looking at G. And I'm sitting up there and I'm pointing. And I said it. His hands in his pocket. His hands in his pocket. And and nobody. I like his hands in his pocket. And nobody didn't. I'm sitting up. This man, his hands is in his pocket. And I had a flashback. And from that point on, I didn't give a damn. I ain't vote for this dude. That's when I went and did.
Obama gave you PTSD.
And from that day, I didn't vote for him. And now, in all the young brothers, I remember all the one when I didn't vote for him and everything. And the next time he went, I'd had a lot of young brothers not vote for Obama too, based on when I explained to them, because they also by that time they started realizing this dude ain't one of us. Hey. I said, I try to tell y'all, this dude ain't one of us. He's a perpetrator.
Man, people went and voted for him for a second time. They said, well, he black. He need more time. He need more time. He black and need more time.
But my point is, what does forward movement really means for us? When what is right for us, I'm hoping, I'm having fun, but in fun and telling stories, I'm really want you to understand. If you don't have principles, we talk about our 5 man up principles, okay? And I'm talking to, since there's so many brothers on the males and these things here. If you don't have principles to live by, you will be tripped and played and taken advantage of. I will tell you, my principles saved me and has helped me to where I'm at today. That's all I'm really trying to say. That's why we taught those 5 principles. Those 5 principles, man up as an individual, man up as a provider, man up as a husband, man up as a father, and man up. And if you can manage those first 4, you can man up as a community leader. That principle of seeing that man put his hands in his pocket, because I learned that is a sign of inferiority, especially someone, a brother that supposed to be a brother. It was that brother said that if someone, a male, look like us, put his hands in his pocket, he has not been vetted by us. He didn't say other. He said by us. And what he meant by us, people like men who are strong brothers who can show you how to navigate and stand before what? The dominant culture. Did y'all catch that? That's all he was saying. If you see someone, a male that looks like us, and you see them standing with their hands in their pocket, okay, and they're talking, they have a sense of inferiority. They uncomfortable with themselves. Now I bet you the next time y'all, how many of y'all? Now, first of all, how many of y'all seen that before? Carl, have you seen that before? Somebody saying their hands in their pocket?
Yeah, I've seen that before.
I think you need to cut Obama some slack, bro. Like
I do. I get that all the time, brother. But I can't.
Need to cut him some slack. Bro.
I can't cut him no slack.
Come on, dude. Like,
I ain't cutting him no slack at all, bro.
He was not that
I can't cut him no slack.
I ain't cutting him no slack at all, especially now. No. Hold on. After his last comment, bro, how can you dare come up here and ask me to cut him some slack? Did you hear what he did, brother?
The one where he said that we need to have a gay friend so we can get some empathy.
So you get, bro, don't you dare. Don't you dare come up here and say I need to cut him some slack.
That just lets you know the agenda is real.
That was messed up.
Yeah, okay, all right. Don't you dare.
The agenda is real.
Yeah, don't you dare. After I was already done with him, but all my partner, man, when he made, I got phone calls from all my all my brothers. Did you hear what this? Oh my God. They was going off. Okay.
He tried not to get kicked out the house, man. You know.
Me, Sean, I am all smiles because I didn't vote for the brother.
I never, and I'm all smiles too. My name will never be associated that I voted for Obama.
I can admit, we talk accountability a lot. I would take that accountability. The first time was on me,
I
bro.
was like, look at that. Yes.
How many times you
was
vote
on
for him,
me.
Lynn? How many times did you vote for him, Lynn?
One time. I had to go for it, bro. But
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of us that just wanted to press the button and see what happened. That's it.
What about you, Big Hawk? How many times did you vote for Obama?
Man, I was a kid. I voted for him once.
You voted for him once? Okay, all right. Hey, what about you, Mr. Miles? Mr. Miles, how many times you voted for him?
He don't have a mic yet, but he does have the request. So if he wants to speak, he'll. What about while we waiting? Dukester, how many times you vote for your boy?
I voted for him. The first time, I voted for him, but then the second time, I kind of thought it was kind of weird what was going on with the dude. So he kind of like, at first, I voted for him, but then there's a lot of drama going, a lot of people getting killed, and black men getting killed on his watch, and he didn't really say nothing.
And he didn't. Oh, what about his own friend? Was somebody what was the
Professor Gates?
Yes. He might as well had threw him under the damn bus.
I didn't like that crash, man. When that crashed, he gave the bankers a pass, bro. I was done with it, bro.
Yeah, I mean, you can see multiple times there was something wrong. As we would say, you start looking at him sideways. This brother ain't from the bottom. This brother ain't come from the South. Who this brother is? That's actually what some of the brothers would say. This brother ain't come from the South.
Hey, but
man.
when the Republicans used to talk about him, they like his name was Obama Hussein. I'm thinking they being racist. So I ain't thinking that they telling us all along the dude was a tether. He was an African and all this. But we so caught up in his skin.
That's before y'all knew what tether was. Y'all weren't even talking like that. Yeah,
right.
We weren't even no.
Huh?
We weren't even saying tether back
then. No, y'all weren't even saying tether back then. Y'all didn't even have no clue that y'all had been tethered.
I kept saying Barack Hussein Obama.
That should have woke us up right there. But when nobody.
But remember, and you know what? In all seriousness, I am very proud of you all. I mean, I didn't know about delineation. I like I said, I only been here about 5 months now, and coming from the professional medical field and everything, I started coming here, and I heard y'all delineate it. I didn't know that. I didn't know that in the medical field, there's so many rights. The brothers and sisters that was in the medical field, we were delineating, not even realizing, because we would never allow. We would call them internationals. Okay, these in the hospitals, you have these residents that come from all these different countries and everything, trying to get their doctorate degrees and everything. And some of them were, coming from India, Africa, Israel, all from out of country, and most of them were men. And I dealt with more men than they were women. But the deal is that they used to come in whenever they meet, when they just little residents, okay, they ain't doctors yet, in their first year, they come over here, and even though they residents, they acting like they want to talk all crazy. I mean, the first time that ever happened, like this dude. I mean, I'm a surgical tech, so I'm like a attending, but I'm a scrub tech. I may not be the doctor attending, but I've been in this field for quite a long time. So I used to pop my, look at here, you little resident, you better you better watch yourself who you talking to. Hey, I don't give a damn. You're a resident. You ain't a doctor yet. And when they get And when they get their 4 year and 5 years in, they get to being doctors. And oh yeah, this is true. They say, yeah, you got to watch me, Sean. Me. They start telling all the other residents, guys, look at that, you listen to me, Sean. Me, Sean, to keep you out of trouble. If you don't listen to me, Sean, he gonna get you in trouble. Because I would get them set up because the attendees know me. I mean, when you've been around the field, they know me, and I'd be like, hey, Joe, I'd be dropping, I'd be snitching on him, man. Hey, Dr. Souza, you left that junior resident in there. He didn't know what the hell he was doing. You know what you mean, me, Sean? You left him in there. You didn't know what he was doing. I tried to tell him, that's not right. You doing something wrong. And he didn't listen. He didn't listen to you. No, he didn't listen to me. He was messing around. He had
and I ain't with the whole snitches get stitched thing anyway. I don't give two shits, let alone a shit about any of that. But when it comes to the hospital, the medical room, work,
right?
I mean, come on, bro. Like nobody should care about snitching there because you're talking life or death.
Yeah, right, yeah. And that's why I was able to get so much props because the attendees.
But it's sad though, like we talked about earlier today, how you can go into some rooms where it's a whole lot of us, and you tell that story that you told last night about the young lady acting out of sorts,
and I reported her.
Or this story right here,
right,
where we talking about people doing things not the right way,
right?
You know what I mean? And then and people come at you like, oh, you snitching, bro. Like, what if that's your family member that ends up on the table,
right?
With this person doing stuff wrong? I mean, come on now.
And I'm a I'm a patient advocate, okay? And everybody knew that about it. I'm patient advocate guru, okay? You better know your damn job up in here with me, okay? I may be a scrub tech, but don't get it twisted. You are doing what you need to do, I will bust you out. And I did. I mean, these residents sometimes, and when they get to 4th year, 5th year, the doctors expect them to know what they do, and some of them, they be left in the room with me, okay, and they act like they know what they do. Hey, yo. I mean, I can tell y'all stories where I'm the scrub tech. I got residents in the I got a resident doctor, 4 year, 5 year. I got a resident anesthesia 4 year, 5 year at the end, and I got a nurse in the room who's a junior nurse, and the only one in there who's seasoned is me. I'm the only one in the damn room who's the most seasoned in the whole damn room. Okay, and I have to hold it down. And you know what's so crazy about it? I was expected to hold it down. I was called in the room because of something. I was called in the office because something went down, and I was in the room as the scrub tech, and everybody in there was residents or junior nurses and everything, and I was the most senior person in the damn room, and I got called out. And how many times you think that happened, Joe? Once I got in trouble, that shit didn't happen again. You look at here, you look at here, yeah. Look at here, y'all know what the hell y'all doing. I have stopped them. Patient, they rolling the patient over, and they know they're supposed to put the rollers under the arm, and you got these residents trying to quickly say, well, we're just not going to put no rollers under the arm today. We're just going to put them on his side. And they're like, and this 350-pound patient there, and you're going to roll them on his side. That's an axillary injury about to happen, okay? Because you don't know how long you're going to be on that side, and the longer you stay on that side, that axillary, and you put the rolls under their arm, so it takes pressure. And I'm sitting up there, and they just go in. The nurse didn't say anything. The anesthesia person didn't say anything. I'm sitting in there. I'm like, and I have to do it respectfully, because I am the scrub tech. They are residents, and they close to being doctors and everything. But God damn. And I did. I said, hold up here. Hey, listen up, y'all. I know, listen up. Uh, and I done it, as long as I have been doing this job, no 300-pound patient go on their side without an axillary roll, no matter how long you gonna be here. I look over at anesthesia. Anesthesia. Do you know what I'm talking about? Because if anything happened to this patient and you allowed it to happen, when you anesthesia is the next person, if the senior doctor is not in the room, the next person who's supposed to look after what's in the care of that patient is the anesthesia because they got the patient asleep. The next person in the room is the nurse. And then I'm the last person in the damn room. And here I am, got to speak up for the damn person, patient advocate. And they look at me and they all, let's just go ahead and do what me, Sean's talking about. Even though I know I'm only going to be a little, and messed around, they were there for 2 hours trying to work on what they're working on. And everybody said, thank you. We're going to be here. You see what I mean? Sometimes you got to know when you got to speak up and do the right thing. It is what it is.
And I can definitely dig that. I want to, as always, we just kind of reset the room real quick and let everybody know that this is the I Ain't Your Black show. All right. This is the podcast that offers healing insights and epiphanies, discussing and reviewing everything others are afraid to talk about. It's all about what is right for us. I ain't your new black. I ain't your old black. I ain't your future black. America, I ain't your black. And of course, it is the host of I Ain't Your Black, Mr. Just Ask Joe, and Uncle Me Sean. Tonight we are speaking to the tune of what does forward movement really mean for us? So in thinking about that, then I want to hear from some more people. I want links. You jumped in with us. What does forward movement really mean for us?
Yeah, what
To
that
you?
look like? Yeah, that's a good point. What that looks like? What does that mean to you when we say forward
Well,
movement?
define us. I mean, for me as a black man, it means
So when we say us, we're talking about us and our demographics of people here in America, the freedmen.
okay. So for a black man, I don't know if I could trust like women in America, but especially like any type of woman, black woman. I think we need to move overseas, become passport bros. I'm gonna say it like that. I'm done. I'm
I
done with
mean,
America.
and we're
I'm 57, about to go
we're talking our demographics of people, not just men. but damn, you opening the can of worms, Link.
Yeah. You just
Uh,
there, Link. Link. You just went straight. God
there's a
damn, dude.
whole topic, a whole show topic right there. That is, I ain't touching it with a 10-foot
Yeah, all right,
pole
yeah,
right
Link.
now. Not right now.
Hey, not tonight, there, bro. You just ran out the gate and just gone.
It's the one dude that they threw the ball to, and he ran the other way.
Come on, man.
Nah, for real. But what does forward movement mean for us as a people? And if from your perspective, it means having something to do with women, our women, then go right ahead and speak to that. I just want to make sure that you understand that when we say us, we're talking about our
Women as
demographic
well.
of
Yeah,
people, men, women, boy,
right.
child, girl, the whole nine.
Yeah, right. We're not just talking about the men, folks. We're talking about us culturally. What is right for us? Maybe
Okay. Let him go. Let him go. All right, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Well, I don't know. It's really tough. AI is coming for all of us, like all. So I would really like to see more of our young people in computer science. But computer science again is going the way of AI, so it's almost like, you know, we're all going to face, everyone in America, a lot of service industry jobs are going away. Even high end jobs are going to go away. I don't know how we move forward in that environment, except for people got to realize they got to get out the rat race somehow. You know what I mean? So
you
I guess
immediately
us getting out the
What?
rat race is more along the lines of us becoming more investing in our own communities, you know, investing in our own young people. We had a big movement back in, my parents are a result of, you know, black colleges, people meeting at, you know, when we had segregation. So I'm 57 years old. So my point is, like, people that are doing it or even trying to do it need to try to invest more in us. So I think a lot of it has to do with us doing more for us. So I would like to
Okay.
see us do more for us.
Okay. Are you in computer science, by the way?
Yeah. I'm a 14-year Microsoft. Was with 14 years at Microsoft, and I've been in the tech industry for like 20 some years.
Gotcha. Definitely figured as much, and glad that you can speak to you know, your field and speak for that, because I do think that's important. I think you know, I'm actually, and I, you know, I don't even know if what I'm doing makes a difference or not, but I'm taking a Google Coursera, I think is what it's called, course for cybersecurity. I just felt like I wanted to have it, you know, as something, and see if that can, you know, do anything. You know, start out entry level contract work, you know, gain a contract or two. But I mean, I got a buddy of mine who he is he's still in his 40s, and he's been a millionaire for some years now, a little less than 10 years. But he has a cybersecurity company, and he basically finds contracts and set other guys up with them under his company, and does very well with that. So, you know, I think that's important, because when you look at things like that, like I'm a licensed life insurance agent. Um, when you look at that field, you look at financial advisory, you look at something like cybersecurity. I mean, it's really, all of those fields make a lot of money. You can make a lot of money with it, but all you need is a certificate. You don't even need a high school diploma. So, you know, if it's about education within our community, well, guess what? There are opportunities, plenty of opportunities out there, you know, where you can, you know, navigate around the whole education issue. So there is plenty of opportunity out there, and there's the excuses, the circle of excuses is becoming smaller and smaller, because the opportunity is there. You have the ability to gain that opportunity, to create wealth.
Mm.
Anybody else?
Anybody else want to share, you know, what does forward movement really, really, really means for us? What is right for us?
I think forward movement means for me is marketing freedmen. I think in this hour, the color construct is going to be dismantled, and we have to be prepared for that dismantling. And I think Friedman is the best avenue to move forward. So, what does forward movement really mean for us? Creating our own lane, and that lane is Friedman, because again, the color construct is going to be dismantled.
It's going outdated. It's getting outdated, isn't it?
Can either one of y'all two speak to that real quick, under 5 minutes? Speak to Freedman. You know, I want to get back to what this forward move, but since you brought that up, you know, I think that it needs to be regurgitated often as to what the whole Freedman movement is, because as we've spoken about before, this movement right here is seemingly the closest that we're going to get or have gotten in many years legally to any type of reparational inheritance paid out movement, right? So can either of y'all, less than 5 minutes, speak to that?
Let me
Yeah, let
talk
Carl
about
do it.
let me talk about it from this perspective, and then Mishon talk about the Freedman Nation perspective. My perspective is my people were their status in America was slaves. As a result of our status being slave, we are an amalgamation of different people groups. We lost our ethnicity.
Oh, it smells good.
We lost our ethnicity. As a result of the emancipation, we became a new status, which is freedmen. And freedman status, as Mishorn says, if Abraham Lincoln had not been assassinated, that would have been our status.
And so I think right there, Carl, that's where people miss it. When you speak on that, are you saying that that was a legal status at one point?
Yes. We had freedmen town, we had freedmen hospitals, freedmen colleges, so forth and so on. But this is the kicker here. That status was lost and abandoned because the Confederates rose back up into power down in the South. But get this kicker here. The Civil Rights Act of 1964, which reversed segregation and discrimination, that legislation, because of the do-nothing Republicans, did not protect us for that 100 years between Reconstruction down to 1964. But America made a feeble attempt to bring in legislation to reverse the segregation and the discrimination against our people. But this is the kicker here. The legislation was race neutral. The regulators, they created a new status called minority, a new status of people called minority. Instead of that legislation going to the freedmen, because we were the ones who were being segregated and discriminated against, instead of that legislation going to, instead of the regulators putting in freedmen and all the resources and all of the protection from the government, city, state, and federal going to the freedmen, they created a new status called minority, which included women, Asians, Hispanic, and now LGBTQ people. If our people was astute and kept their original status of freedmen, we would not be having this argument on resources coming down from the government as of 1964, because that freedman status, all those reparative, remedial inheritance, or whatever you want to call it, would have went to the freedmen. And so I want a marketing on freedmen to delineate us from every other people group. Jamaicans can't call themselves freedmen. Haitians can't call themselves freedmen. Ghanaians can't call themselves freedmen. Angolians cannot. Only the descendants of the American slaves can call themselves American freedmen. Now, the status is freedmen, but the nation that emancipated you is America, which that's why it's American freedmen. And I land there.
And
You
I'm
know,
like,
that's
and I'm
that's
gonna leave that right there. And I just want any of you who have not, you know,
But I want to say something real quick. You know, he just made me think when he said Jamaicans, because I wonder about those American slaves or slaves that were brought from Africa to America, that during that you know, they used to take slaves to Jamaica, and them you know, them what are we calling them, Caucasians, they would boink them in the booty, you know what I mean, they so
Buck break them.
and that
Buck break
and
them.
yeah, buck break them. And that's why, you know, Jamaica notoriously has always, you know, I'm not hear about the Bati boy, you know what I mean. So with that in mind, then how does that play a part? You know, what if
If they can trace their ancestors back to the 1860s, 1850s, if they can trace their ancestors back to the 1850s and 1860s, and they were a part of the emancipation, then they are American freedmen.
yeah, because I'm
that
working on that now. My father's side of the family is Jamaican, right? So, but my mother's side of the family, you know, is all American. And as a matter of fact, their last name Yeager is I've recently found is a slave name, and you know, I am working on my freedman status from that side of the family. So, you know, hopefully I still get to raise my fist with y'all.
The difference between manumission and emancipation. Manumission is when a private person freed you. Emancipation is when the government free you. Therefore, the freedman was emancipated. And then we had the 13th Amendment that codified it into law. That's
right,
why we are the American freedmen. A year later, in 1866, the 5 civilized tribes were forced to free their slaves.
right.
That's why you have the Cherokee freedmen, the Choctaw freedmen, the Chickasaw freedmen, the Creek freedmen, the Seminole freedmen. They are freedmen. They are freed from their nations. I am an American freedman because my ancestors were emancipated by this government, America. That's why I am not only a freedman by status, but I am an American freedman.
So, and for all of you, and what I was going to say, you know, to all of you, if this is the first time you have really heard us or heard this intense conversation, is this, consider yourself in the know, okay? Because you can go to freemannation.org if you believe that your ancestors have, if you believe your ancestors are descendants of slaves, it doesn't cost you anything. I don't care if you want to call yourself the big blue banana, Negro, black, whatever the case is. If you believe that your ancestors are descendants of slaves, you can go to freemannation.org, freemannation.org, and you can start the process of learning how to become verified freemen. Carl and I are both verified freemen. That means that Carl and I have found our ancestors, and AI technology is our friend today. See, we could not have done this before because technology wasn't our friend, but AI technology is our friend now. So we both found our ancestors that were born before 1870. I found
And what does that mean specifically for a person that focuses on finding their ancestry and becoming a registered freedman? What does that mean?
Well, I gave you the address, freemannation.org. When you find your ancestor through the through the genealogy, uh, and you
I mean, when
trace
you get verified,
when you get verified, okay, your name is now registered in the Freedmen Trust. And what we're doing, and what I love about Arthur Watkins, he is the trustee of this trust. He created this trust. So your name is now in a trust that we're going after. We're not, it's a self-governing, non-revocable trust, irrevocable trust.
so the government can't touch it.
The government is not in this. This is a private trust. So here's what we're doing. We're going after what we already know, the 1,000+ private corporations that are most likely billions and trillions in assets, okay, that knowingly have benefited off of our ancestors, okay? And so what we're going to do, or what we're doing, okay, is that once we get a certain number of our verified freedmen in the trust, we already got lists of who we are going to. We already got names on who we going after. We're going to them and going to request they make a donation into the trust and then have their name attached to resolving the inheritance or reparation issue for all of us who are freemen. If your name is in the trust, let's say, let me give you an example. If 100 million is deposited in that trust and your name is a registered freeman, you will get a return on that the rest of your life until you pass away. Self-governing trust that I am so proud to know that Arthur Watkins put this together, and he said the whole concept, if America would have gonna do right by us, they would have done it already. But what can we do for ourselves? Well, what we can do for ourselves is identify those corporations that we know made money off our ancestors and give them a place to drop some money in. Do you not think that's some smart? That's, as far as I'm concerned, that's the smartest thing I've heard, where we don't have to sit around whining and crying anymore about what you gonna do for me. Now we gonna self-govern for ourselves. We have
It's like
created.
even if you don't even like, I mean, even if you don't care about it, why not? Why not get yourself registered
Yeah,
and keep it moving? Yeah, you know what I mean.
yeah,
You can still
it's
not care and still get registered.
yeah,
Because
yeah. I mean,
what
it's
if it
idiotic.
all
It's
works?
right. It's idiotic for you to say, "Oh, I don't want to do that. I'm going to wait for the government." It's idiotic to even think that way. If you think your ancestors are descendants of slaves, and you can, for free, trace and see for yourself. No, in other words, don't no more wondering. Just like me, I'm gonna just use me for an example. All this time, Joe, how long you been knowing me? All this time, I've been calling myself a descendant of American slave. Descendants of American slave. Met author. He introduced me to the freemannation.org. Said, me, Sean, go and see if you can find your ancestors. I'm 64 years old. I went in there, never knew, and found my great great grandmother, Martha, from the plantation in Georgia, born in 1862. The United States Census Bureau identified her. Not I identified her, they identified her that she was a freeman. I got my tree together, took a picture of it, got the Census Bureau, got that, and uploaded it, and I am now in the trust as a verified freeman. Hello? Who don't understand that? It's just how long did it take you to get yours, Carl?
Now I did my genealogy back in the 70s.
Right.
My
So
dad,
you had all your paperwork ready to
yeah,
go.
yeah. My dad had some land down in Palestine, Texas, and uh, my great grandfather was given 100 acres of land. And so my dad was wanting to sell some of his property, so I had to go and do some research at the courthouse. And because they were landowners, it was easier for me to trace my lineage. And I went all the way to my great grandfather. He was born in Missouri in 1830.
Wow.
Born in Missouri in 1830. Moved to Texas in 1850s before
Wow.
slavery was over, and received that land. Uh, I forgot exactly the year that he received the land. After slavery, he received 100 acres of land. So I was able to trace my lineage back in the 70s when my dad was having some wanting to sell his land, and I've been into real estate for decades. So therefore, I was able to maneuver very well in that. So I had already had my ancestry already. So once I submitted to Arthur's organization. I think in 2 days they got back with me and verified me.
Yeah. You was your yeah. You already had all your stuff together, so it was easy for you to upload it. So I am glad that you brought we went ahead and brought that up because that's something that I said I was going to be doing moving forward because I do believe I just recently, Carl, I have gotten three other people, a military guy and two other people who, and you know what's so great? And I get excited about this. The best thing I can do is give you information. You know, I can't fish for you, but I can show you how to fish. Okay. I can't fish for you, but I can show you how to fish. You know what I like about the three people who just came on board and they went is that they said, Carl and Joe, they said, me, Sean, I've been following you forever. When I saw you put that Freeman stuff up there, you told me where to go and everything. I went and looked into it and I did exactly what you said to do. And I went in and I got verified. And they kick it, and they got it when it got verified. And they just found me inside because once you get verified, you inside the system. And they found me, and then I was happy for them because they listen. I mean, I done shared this with over 1,000 something people, and I got family members who won't move on it. Won't move on it. Won't move on it. Okay, and it's easier for some of them to move on it because I'm already verified. So all they got to do, we got the same grandmother, the same granddaddy. You know what I mean? It'd be easy for them to do it, and they haven't moved on it. And what's gonna happen when? And I'm gonna say this because their goal is about by the end of this year, Carl. I don't know if you know this or not. By the end of this year, they're trying to have 10,000 or more. The word Freeman is going to be a household. And guess what's gonna happen, Carl? Everybody and their daddy, right, Carl? Everybody and their daddy gonna about try to get in, right?
It's going to snowball.
It's gonna snowball like that. And we and the ones who already in, we gonna because we're gonna have to go test it, right? Because we probably have to put everybody on hold because right, you know what's gonna happen. I don't know this for sure, but you know what's gonna happen as we get to 10,000 or more in. Joe, hurry up and get in, bro. We gotta be the. I want to be the test monkey. You darn right, Carl? Let's test this thing out, right, Carl? Right?
Let me get them dividends. Let me get that interest.
Let's go to that General Motors. Let's go to that Prudential.
Long as they don't, try to deposit the funds on a rush card or something like that.
No,
then we'll be all right.
no, it wouldn't be like that. No. Let's go to all those. Let's go to all those corporations that we know. We know they made money off our ancestors, and go to them and say, based on the records that we already recorded and everything, history have shown that your existence would not be you would not have this existence if it wasn't further off the back of our slaves. You are the record shows that your earnings is what it. All we asking you to do is make a deposit, a charitable deposit into the trust, and your name will be forever notated that you made your contribution to wipe out reparation for our people. Do you want your name to be in it? Now, who don't want their name to be in it? All you can think about it. Who
And
don't
think about this, Sean. All they have to do when Al Sharpton come to them trying to
hustle them?
extort money from them, all they have to do is say, well, we've already dropped our $10 million into the Freedman Nation.
Right.
We've
Exactly.
we've already sent our money, and here is our proof that we sent our money.
Right. Yeah.
And their logo
And there
and everything
is the
will be
conversation,
on
right?
the website. Their logo will be
Oh
on
yeah, their
the
logo
website.
be on the website. You see how
But
sweet
but
that
we
is?
letting them know. Don't be trying to put no $5 in there. Don't
No,
be
no, no,
hey,
no, no,
don't play
no,
with
no.
us.
No.
Don't play with us.
That's not
Don't be trying to put $5 in
brother.
there.
You don't even have to bring that up because that's not this. Hey, Carl, this ain't that type of party. We am I right, Carl? This ain't that type of party.
This not that time of day.
We
But let me
General Motors better not be trying to come up here and put no $1,000 in there.
let me say this. Let me say this, Sean, while it's on my mind, though. There's other freedmen organizations out there also.
Yeah.
There are other freedmen organizations whose advocacy is going to the government. They're going to the government trying to get legislation for freedmen through the government route. But Freedmen Nation route is not going the government route. They are building their own infrastructure. They're building their own infrastructure for our people. So that's the difference.
Carl, was you already gone when Sway Me came in?
I think I heard a little bit what she said, then I left.
Okay.
I reposted her thing a couple times.
I just want you to know Sway Me is the one that's still going after government funding.
Oh, okay.
That's why I brought that up for you.
That's why I noticed you was quiet.
You noticed I was quiet.
Sway Me is going out to government funding. Naheem, United Sons and Daughters of Freedmen, they are some astute brothers on the Freedmen message. They are pure Freedmen. And then you have Pamela Denise Long. She has a Freedmen organization. So
and they all going at they still want to panhandling to the government. They think they need to pan. We the only ones.
Where can you check this out and get information on this?
FreemanNation.org.
The thing I like about Arthur, the organization, it is a trust, it's an infrastructure, and it don't cost you anything to get verified.
Doesn't cost you a thing.
And if you scroll, when you go to the page, when you first go to, because I figured this out last night, because remember me and you was talking, Unc. But yeah, you go to the page and you scroll all the way down, and you will see the multiple avenues that they list, other links for you to be able to click on and focus on your genealogy for free.
You gotta focus on your genealogy first before you try to get verified. Don't,
because it does not save your information. So if you go in there, you plug in some information, and you like me, I got to talk to I didn't look last night. I put all of the family on my mama's side in a text thread and said, look, I need to get this together. If y'all don't want to do it, I don't care, but I need to get this information together right now. And yeah, because that was my problem was, I get to a certain point and I'm like, oh man, well, now I need this information. I need the birth date. I need, I need this information. And ultimately, if you do the genealogy first, then it's a lot easier because then you'll have all that information down. So I'm working on the genealogy now because when you plug it in on the freedmennation.org, it doesn't save your info. So if you got to go and grab some other information later and then come back, then you have to start over, plugging the information in, and you know how we are and can be. We can be like, oh man, F this.
Yeah, and I know, and I would say be patient, be patient, be patient, be patient, be patient. I got people who's working on this, and I'm proud to know a couple people who is almost there. I got a couple people who are almost there, and I have to admit it's liberating too. I mean, me finding my great great grandmother Martha in 1862 and getting verified has really changed my life. I mean, I have a different outlook on things and seeing things a little bit better. So I'm very excited about, and I'm hope some of you all and those who are listening to this podcast and everything take advantage and look into the Freeman Nation. I put it in the website. I mean, I put it in the Blue Pill, the website. So if you want to click on it, you can go there. But and if anybody have any questions, then I'm willing to help anyone out. They help you do it. But the probably most important thing, I can assure you, you're gonna feel better about yourself because the education that I received finding my great great grandparents, because not only I found her, but I found all the ones in between. I mean, all the ones in between. I didn't even know none of these people. I didn't know none of these people. Okay, and now I got a name and a place, and I'm verified. It's a beautiful thing. Hey, listen up. It is going on 9 o'clock. One of the biggest things I say, we can come here and we can be intelligent, we can be strong, but we don't have to be long. Okay. And I strive to not have to be long. Okay. Depending on how many people here and everything. I like, my goal is that we start at 7 and so I want 3 hours, but we don't have to go all the way to the 3 hours, but it's 9 o'clock. We've been here. I think we've had some good conversations. One of the things that I hope each and every one of you, we try to keep this as a safe space. We don't try to do too many of those we don't like the N word being thrown around. We don't like to use a whole lot of profanity and everything. And we don't use the B's and everything. We want to be respectful to one another and communicate with them. We think the most important thing, the most important thing that we can do as a demographic of people is be respectful and love on one another. Oh, I hope y'all can appreciate that. That's one of my biggest pet peeves that I do not like on this space. I do not see enough love for one another. And how you love for one another is how you communicate with one another. I hope y'all receive that. And as we, who want to come up and speak on that? That's one of the things. What does forward movement really means for us? What is right there? The first thing I like to say, what it means to me is how we treat one another. Forward movement, how we talk to one another, how we communicate with one another, how we treat one another with the same respect that we want people to treat us. You can't. And then when other people outside hear you talking crazy and everything, and then you want to go to them and ask you to treat you in a way that you ain't even treat yourself. What do you consider that? Stupid. How does someone gonna ever treat you a certain way when you're not treating yourself and your family and people that you say that you call you one of us, but you're cursing us out and you're using an N word and you say, I'm not about that. Okay. I believe to try to, maybe that's why I got people coming in, come and go, and people say I'm boring. You boring. You don't. Well, I'm not here for that type of entertainment. Okay. I'm here for education. Okay. I'm here for education, dropping some seeds. And when you leave my spaces and Joe spaces and Carl and us, we hoping that you leave here better than when you came here with some new information. And so Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, we're here at 7 o'clock. And that's us doing what we're trying to do. And we hope you invite other people. Matter of fact, go to your set and push it out to other people and share this space to other people and everything. But we're not here we're not gonna talk about
people
you.
come here and they feel emboldened to speak.
Right.
Whereas you can see them in other spaces and they won't speak up because a lot of these other spaces, and that's why I went off yesterday or whatever, is because a lot of these spaces, man, these guys, all they do is sit around and just talk about people.
Right.
That's it. They just sit around, talk about people. You know, they're not about nothing. It's just a bunch of fugazi entertainment, nonsensical, stuff, and ain't nobody talking about anything that is, I mean, they should
Relevant.
in their spaces, they should just put at the top, this is entertainment. That's what they should do. You know what I mean? So that you don't go there thinking that this topic that they got up here is something real, but then all they're doing, you say something down like, yeah, shut the I mean, bro, like,
Yeah.
it's ignorance at its finest. And I mean, honestly, it is a terrible example of us as a people anywhere, let alone on this space. So,
Absolutely.
so
So
we got to
anybody
do better.
want to come up and give you a
Yeah,
closing
we about to be
submission?
out real
Go
quick.
ahead.
Anybody? I see a couple people connecting. Let's see. All right, so I tell you what, if nobody wants to
I
give
thought-
their
I
last
thought-
word,
I just went to the site. It's
Go ahead.
amazing. I am happy to see this type of site out there. I'm going to verify. I just joined. It requires someone to approve it. I don't know why, but
Well,
that, I think that is your because I know what you're saying, because I think I did that same thing, but you have to you need to, I think, click get verified, but again, make sure you got all your information in a row, your
so all you
link.
did is registered and everything. That
Yeah,
you need
yeah.
to roll down where to go and look and search for your genealogy first. That don't even try to verify yet. You got to
Yeah,
go.
that's
You can
true.
go in, you can go ahead and go in, but you don't even try to verify yet. You got to go down and you got 3 links, and it's talk about search your genealogy. I use the second link, and that second link has been the
It's
most.
called Family. What is that one? I got it up here. It is FamilySearch.org.
You hear the feedback. I got you. I'm gonna do that. I'm definitely gonna verify. But the feedback is, I went in, I saw a login because I wasn't ready to verify, and then I logged in, and then it said,
yeah, because that's where I'm at too. Is the law, and then I've realized that no, I gotta do the genealogy first.
Yeah,
and
so just improve that flow a little bit.
Yeah. So congratulations.
Well, and remember, this isn't our site or anything like that we control.
Okay.
We're just advocating for it because it is a fantastic move. Now, I do know, Unc, right? You have been in communication as well as Carl and others have been in communication with the people.
Yeah, I'm friends with the founder. Okay,
but that came after you learned about what was going on already.
Right.
So yeah, this isn't anything that we push, control. We're just saying, hey, this is a great move. Why not do it? Because if it works, then guess what? They take that money in the trust, they invest it, and boom, everybody's getting a dividend check.
And
I don't care what it is.
To meet y'all as well. So good to speak to some intelligent Black brothers and that are not negative.
Well, I appreciate that, man. That's when I'm glad to hear you. That, I mean, I wanted to make, when I decided to step away from the nonsense, I was already, me and Joe used to do a podcast anyway. So we were already doing a podcast somewhere else. We just decided to bring our podcast here, okay, and do what we were doing elsewhere, but do it here, but make it positive, where when you come here, we give you information, we talk about stuff that's relevant. Ain't nobody gonna call you at your doggone name. We ain't using the N-word. We're not calling women out there. We're not doing none of that, man. This is a safe space, okay?
Yeah.
A safe place where we can, and we
every now and then we might want to. Every now and then we might,
Good, right? So.
Yeah, well, go ahead, bro. I'm sorry.
I said don't defend Obama, and you good enough.
Hey,
You
every
funny.
now and then we'll throw that out, and every now and then, we might yell out, "Snitch, get stitches," just so we can, just wake you up real quick. Or something. I'm just
It
playing.
has
I'm
been a
playing.
little
I'm playing.
toxic. Not everybody agree with everything. We're not looking for agreement. That's the first. We're not looking for agreement. We're looking for understanding. Okay, there's a difference there. I
Yeah.
tell people all the time, listen, I don't need to agree with everything you're talking about, but I will seek an understanding to understand why you think the way you think. Okay, and
I mean, and that's the thing. We should be able to have intelligent conversations without getting so
emotional.
emotional to where we're yelling and screaming and calling each other out our names and this, that, and that. Like that type of banter is ridiculous. Like it's really telling when people go there because I start asking questions in my mind like, okay, did this person grow up with a father? Did they grow up with a mother? Or they grow up with a single parent? Or did their grandparents? Did they grow up with their grandparents? And I start thinking along those lines because I'm just wondering. There's some breakdown in your background as to how you have not learned well about communicating.
effective communication.
Effective communication, absolutely. Governing the king's language first and foremost, because where we at, right here, right?
Right.
And then the ability to communicate that in a manner and disagree and agree to disagree
And I
in
have
a
been in
manner that makes sense.
and I have been in the spaces where, and I am my pet peeve, because I got a daughter. Okay, my pet peeve is I believe a young woman should act like a lady. Okay, and conduct themselves. That meaning you can still have an opinion. You still voice. You can still be a strong, opinionated woman without being vulgarly.
Insensitive and
Oh,
disgusting.
yeah, and
You know,
disgusting. Okay,
the
you know, you
closest thing to a wife is a lady.
yes, yeah. So and so what I do, and then people have seen me, so I'm not saying this. And Carl, you see, when I come up against them, I speak in a very nice tone. I don't.
And I've sat here, we've all sat here and watched as a woman will come up and I mean, she is just the worst of the worst out her mouth
Right.
to you, won't even let you get a word in edgewise, and you will you have calmly
I
sat there
calmly.
and listened and
Yep.
allow her to get it out.
Yeah.
And 2 hours later, when she's finally gotten it out,
She done that.
then
Yeah. Uh-huh.
you say, "Are you done?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Can I speak?" And so kudos to you for
And you
that.
actually have witnessed that. So because ooh Lord, yeah. And
Because a lot of us, might have, what I mean, figured out a digital
yeah.
hand slap.
Yeah, right. And I allowed them to just get all out. And what they could never say, you cursed them out, said anything. I've spoke very respectful to them, talked, communicating with them, even though they called me out my name and this and that. I never give to them what they give to me. And it works every time. Every time. Okay. That they will realize that they're the problem. I ain't the problem. Okay. You're the problem. Okay. Because I'm going to treat you in a manner that you ought to treat yourself. I ain't going to treat you in a manner that I ought to treat you how you treat me. Okay. I'm treating you with the respect that you ought to have for yourself. And I believe that. Okay. Treat people with the respect they ought to have because it's the respect that I have for myself. Okay. You ain't gonna get me out of pocket talking all
And I
crazy.
mean, and let's just be real. Simply because it's the respect that you should have from
Right.
one human to another. If I didn't come at you like that, don't come at me like that.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? But when it all boils down to it, bro, humanity first. I mean, I'm a
Humanity
human.
first.
You a
Right. Not
human. Let's communicate in a cordial manner that makes sense because if I yell, if you at 10 and then I try to get to 11 because you at 10, first off, nobody's learning anything because nobody's hearing anything, nobody's understanding anything, and it's all just a bunch of nonsense at that point. So now you just wasted time, energy, breath, you losing minutes with stress of your life. It's losing minutes in time with stress of your life. No, it's ridiculous. So ultimately, let's just be cordial. So
with that being
folks don't get out of
said,
here.
with that being said, give the close, my brother. Unless somebody else want to come up and say anything, we will be back tomorrow at
If
7
anybody want to
o'clock.
say something, go ahead, put your hand up or something. Don't mind, but just come on with it and say something real quick. Shout out. Well, not shout out. How do we say this? Condolences to. Is it true Al Roker died today? Or is that old news? Am I tripping?
Oh, that's first I heard. I don't even know. Is that true?
I don't know if I saw some clickbait or something, but I just seen something recently on social media about Al Roker. And
I just saw Harriet want to crush. Just look at you requesting to speak.
Yep. I'm giving her the mic. Yep. I figured she would, as she came in here recently. I figured she would want to speak. What's up, sis?
Oh yeah. Every Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursday. That's our
7
MO,
p.m.
7 o'clock.
All right. Well, I'll hit y'all up tomorrow then.
Yeah, no problem. Good to see you.
Absolutely.
So go ahead, Carl. You want to close us out?
Great space as usual. A lot of information. Looking forward to tomorrow. What does forward movement really mean for us? Can we have a moratorium 1 year not talking about white people? Talk to you guys tomorrow.
All right. See you tomorrow,
Absolutely.
Carl.
Absolutely.
Later, Joe. Y'all take care now.
All right, now. Peace. I'm in agreement with that one.
Me too.
Look, can we have a conversation about us without pointing the finger over there? We're not talking. We're talking about us. Peace.
Get ready for I Ain't Your Black. This is the podcast that offers healing, insights, and epiphanies, discussing and reviewing everything others are afraid to talk about. It's all about what is right for us. I ain't your new black. I ain't your old black. I ain't your future black. America, I ain't your black. And now, the host of I Ain't Your Black, Mr. Just As Joe and Uncle Mishar.
Man, you love causing trouble.
Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other.
When black people wake up and become intellectually independent enough.
ready for I Ain't Your Black. This is the podcast that offers healing insight.
When black people wake up and become intellectually independent enough.
Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other.